Maybe it's a combination of reading and just adding in your own spin.
Maybe. All right. Welcome back, Redlands. I'm just reading. Welcome back, Redlands College. This is Be the Difference, your podcast celebrating the vibrant heart of our school community. I'm Mike Shepard here with the fabulous Wendy Rell. Wendy, how's the energy today?
It's electric, Mike. So much happening at Redlands. I can't wait to share the incredible stories from this term.
Can I just interject here that I took the liberty of doing a man on the street segment just as a sort of a proof of concept to see what it would be like, which means I took the microphone, a little mini mic, went out lunchtime, interviewed some students. I asked them to share their post-college dreams, aspirations, and I'd like to play that for you and sort of see what you think about it. Hello.
Hello.
What do you want to do after you graduate from school?
I want to be a musician. Worship music.
I want to be a vet. I want to be a lawyer and then work my way up politically to become the Prime Minister of Australia.
Yeah, I want to be a last person.
I want to be an architect.
Graphic design. I wasn't really thinking of architect because of
Medical laboratory science.
Work in the mines for 2 years and then become a self-employed plumber or electrician.
I honestly haven't thought about that.
Travel.
I'm not too sure.
I might be an engineer.
Either a teacher, a dance teacher, a dancer, an acrobat.
Go to university to get some sort of degree in something. I like sciences.
No idea.
Get money.
Definitely I'll go to uni and have a really good job and put down a mortgage for a house and then slowly pay it off and then buy a new one and rent that one out.
Mission trips.
That was truly inspiring. I really enjoyed listening to all of the students' dreams, hopes.
What was your favorite of the ones?
Especially the ones who had absolutely no idea what they wanted to do because they were being honest.
Those were your favorites.
They are my favorite because I did not know what I wanted to do for a very long time. And when you're honest with yourself.
Agreed. And I think it's interesting that you have students that I've got this plan, particularly the last one that you heard, that, I've got this very specific plan, but you also have people like, I don't know, I really haven't processed that yet. And that's how life is. That's real life. So I did find it interesting and engaging. Of course, I made it. So
it's a powerful reminder of the bright future awaiting our students. Speaking of bright futures, let's take a moment to celebrate some of our remarkable alumni who've already begun to pave their paths with their extraordinary achievements.
Absolutely, Wendy. Their stories are testaments not only to their hard work, but also to the spirit of Redlands College, which encourages everyone to be the difference.
First up, we have Laura Alloway, an outstanding professional soccer player. Laura's journey from our ovals to representing Australia on the international stage with the Matildas is a beacon of inspiration. Her powerful skills have been showcased across the globe, and her advocacy for women's soccer has inspired countless young athletes.
Then, Jackie McLaren is a true beacon of creativity and innovation. From her dynamic performances in music theater and acting to her voice resonating on radio and online, Jackie's career is a testament to the power of passion and versatility. Her role in McLaren Creative and as the casual Queensland weather presenter at the ABC Brisbane showcases her diverse talents and commitment to storytelling excellence.
And we can't forget Mitch and Lee Drennan, the dynamic duo behind the We Got the Chocolates podcast. Their journey from dreaming of sporting glory to creating a podcast that mixes dad jokes, fun games, and candid discussions is a story of adaptability and camaraderie. They've created a community built on laughter and the shared joy of life's lighter side.
Their achievements remind us all of the heights attainable with passion, hard work, and a commitment to making a difference. Now, speaking of being the difference, let's dive into this term's Redlands Review. This term's segment features a thought-provoking thought experiment by Oscar and Jai. They imagine bringing on staff as animals, or as animals as staff. Best if they explain it.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Redlands Review for the second episode. My name is Oscar Wharton, and this is...
Jai Jones.
And welcome back. Man, it is great to be back doing one of these.
We get a sequel.
Exactly. I didn't think we would, honestly. I thought we'd have to submit another one through, but no. Generously, we have been given the opportunity to do this again.
Yeah.
So, what is Redlands Review? We are two hosts that basically... What we're trying to do is spread this community of this and try
Spread the joy of all the schools.
Yeah.
Doing weird, wacky topics, I guess. You know, some reviews, some like weird, wacky questions, stuff like that. It's gonna be cool.
And then we've also got other people in our like group doing their own podcasts around this sort of thing as well, which I've seen people do.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes we'll have a weird, wacky question. Sometimes we'll have a serious question that we're gonna talk about. For example, last time it was the tuck shop, talking about the pros and cons and reviewing it, because that's what we do. We review stuff.
And today we have a question. Which animal would be best as a staff member, and which like role would they be best in?
Ooh.
This is what we're thinking.
Do you have any immediate ideas?
Now, a dog works. We've seen it work before with Hero. A dog definitely works as like a little stress reliever.
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas?
Immediately off the bat, one of my ideas is I think we should get an owl as a teacher. Because
honestly,
I think an owl would do great, especially in like something like the library. Where it's because they're wise, they'll know what books to choose. They'll just fly over.
Exactly.
I've just realized we've missed probably the easiest one to market.
What is the easiest one to market?
We're Redlands College. Where's our mud crab?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I 100% agree. And then if we have a mud crab, we can have a falcon, a piranha, a tiger. What's pamphlets? I don't know. I forgot.
Panthers.
Panthers. Yeah. Okay. So we can have a panther, a tiger, a falcon, and a piranha.
I mean,
as well as the mud crab.
There's PE sort of for you in the different houses. Yeah, I think that's enough of that question. Should we talk about maybe just the podcast and give some ideas? Because there is the podcast comp that's going that just finished, actually.
Yeah.
As of time of recording it has finished, and then the next one's going to be coming on. I think it's termly. I think they do one.
Possibly, yeah.
Termly or semesterly. If not, we should make it termly. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah, very fun.
Which is
No, but and if you have any general ideas or like any questions you want us to cover, you can email either Oscar or I. Send us like a little question. Obviously, it has to be school appropriate.
Yeah.
Or the easier option, you can just email Mr. Shepherd at mshepherd, I think. Right?
Yeah, mshepherd at Redlands.
At redlands.qrd.edu.au. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Redlands Reviews.
See you, everyone.
Bye.
Well, that was interesting.
Oscar and Jai are always a delight. Now, let's shift gears and celebrate exciting developments around campus. Our junior school is rocking the new soccer goals, and the newly refurbished gym is buzzing with energy.
Don't forget that we also welcome 5 exchange students from Spain and Japan, enriching our Redlands family.
Absolutely. The OSHC team's Giving Week was a smash hit, with community pancakes and a fan favorite car wash. Initiatives like these truly make a difference.
And speaking of making a difference, the launch of the ISC propelled our sports program to new heights. Seeing Redlands College shine in competitions is fantastic.
And amidst all the excitement, we've had a well-attended open day, inspiring leadership events, and unforgettable Year 6 and 7 middle school camps. Plus, the SRC's Valentine's Day event added a touch of love to the term.
Now for today's special highlight, we're honored to feature a segment courtesy of the Christian Chronicle featuring our very own Jada Black. Jada's achievements, including her nomination for Redlands Coast Young Citizen of the Year, are a testament to her incredible hard work.
Jada's story is truly inspiring. She exemplifies the be the difference spirit that defines our school.
Welcome to the Christian Chronicle podcast. We're bringing you the stories that are shaping Church of Christ congregations and members around the world. Here's our host, B.T. Irwin.
Longtime followers of the Christian Chronicle know that our journalists, they get around. They go to every part of the world to find and report stories about what God is doing through Christians and congregations among every people and every nation. Last December, our own Bobby Ross Jr. went all the way around the world to find out what God is up to in Australia. And while he was down under, he found several stories that he wrote and shared in the pages of the Christian Chronicle. You can read those for yourself at christianchronicle.org or click on them in the show notes. And one of those stories in particular caught my attention, and I thought you'd like to hear more from the subject in her own voice and words. Jada Black is a 16-year-old at Redlands College, a private Christian K-12 school with roots and ties in the Church of Christ. The school is located in a suburb of Redlands City, Queensland, Australia. We decided to feature Jada today because of her choice to hold on to her faith in God, even through her mother's battle with cancer and death at the age of 40. Jada was just 14 years old when she lost her mom. Nevertheless, she not only held on to her faith, she is working hard to encourage her schoolmates to grow in their faith as well. We know how much our Christian Chronicle audience likes stories like this one, so here is a portion of Bobby Ross Jr.'s interview with Jada Black recorded last December in Queensland, Australia.
This is my first day in Australia, so I know not much of anything at all, but what is faith like in Australia?
I think, in Australia, Mr. Shepherd always says it's like a post-Christian country. And I also think that, the culture in Australia, it's, you don't want to, be, cringe, even. And so I think that people, that's,
They cringe, too...
too much, corny Christian. Yeah, okay. I think, that's a big issue. And, people who are Christian, they're not, really, loud about it. And I think there's a lot of people who have, church hurt, especially in, Australia. I know, Hillsong and stuff, it's, almost like a joke.
Say that again?
Hillsong, the big church. I think
some of the abuse stuff.
Yeah, and so, because of, it's, so pervasive, that kind of, ideal, it's, kind of, a joke.
There's a lot
almost.
of people who have church hurt, you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, I think at, Redlands, it's, I don't think, Christianity's going to be, forced, in your face, but if you, seek out, a Christian community, you'll probably find it here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I think if you, start saying, Jesus loves you, they'll put up, their guard.
Uh-huh.
So, I usually just, wait for, my friends to, ask me, questions and stuff about it. Yeah, that's usually how I approach it. And I try to just, be honest, because people have, seen, the dark side of Christianity, and, it's, you can't just, ignore that. And so I think people, often come to me, almost, in a confrontational way, saying, how can you be, a Christian? If that, sort of thing. I try to just, not put it in people's faces, but also, be really open to talking about it.
In the dark side? I mean, is that, is that unique to Australia, or is that just in general that, or maybe you don't know?
I think it's just because, in America, a lot of people go to church, I'm, assuming, but the main idea that people have in Australia of churches is, the scandals that they've seen on, the news.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
Like sexual abuse, financial misdeeds, and things like that.
Mm.
And have they even been, the people you were saying church hurt, even experienced some of that firsthand? Is that, or is it mainly what they've seen and heard about?
I think people have I know some people who have like got church hurt, but a lot of people it's like secondhand almost.
What do you want to do after you graduate? Have you thought that far ahead? Or?
Well, actually, I want to study like law and justice, but and I want to be a lawyer. But like ultimately, I really want to be a politician, something in that area.
Okay. Like, do y'all have a president or a prime minister?
Prime minister.
So you would be the prime minister?
That's my goal.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we get to meet you now before this happens. For Americans who aren't familiar with Australia, what do you love about your country and this people here?
I really appreciate like how like multicultural Australia is, but I feel like there's like a lot more work to go. I feel like there's like a need in like a lot of areas, which I feel like I could like represent people. If that makes sense.
Do you think, as Australia and America, the politicians, there's a lot of talk about faith, but there's also a lot of like negative stuff in politics and lack of character. And do you feel like a person of strong character and strong faith that there's room in politics for someone like yourself? I hope so.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of people in my family complain about like career politicians, and that's not what I want to be. Like I want to be someone who like just wants to serve.
What is spiritual life, Captain?
It's like a leadership role at the school, and it's basically just like encompasses like the faith aspect of it.
And is there one for each grade or one for the school, or how do they?
A boy and a girl usually, like
for the school. Or,
yeah.
Okay. So that's a pretty big. I don't know if honors.
Yeah.
Like it's a service, but a pretty important recognition of you and your commitment and your faith.
You mentioned you wait until your friends come to you with questions. What type of questions do they normally ask?
Like they're kind of like cynical. Like sometimes they'll be like, oh, like how can you think? Like, do you believe in evolution? Like those kind of like probing questions. Or like, yeah.
How do you handle those questions?
I just like ask like God to like take over, like just like speak through me, because I don't really have all the answers like a lot of the time. But yeah, and also like when I'm reading the Bible, I kind of like read it through like the lens of like, or like I can like help people with this kind of question, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And you do Bible studies or
yeah, we
like
have,
here at school or after school, or where do y'all do those?
well, we have a Bible study group.
Okay, and when do y'all meet?
It was meant to be every Friday, but this time's been busy, so it was like every second Friday. I can tell you about the Fiji trip that I went on.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went there to a village, like a
where?
It was Lautoka in Fiji. It was like a remote village.
Okay, a remote village in Fiji. Okay.
And we were there to do like medical like outreach. But then me and my friend, we got put like not doing medical stuff. We were doing like prayer and like it's called prayer and post-op. And so we just got to like pray with the people and like give out Bibles and do Bible study stuff, which I don't know. I guess I just thought it was like interesting that like God put me in that role, because I went on the trip like initially to like serve like in the medical space, and I'd wanted to be like a doctor up until like really recently, but just that like God gave me that role, I just thought was really interesting.
And when was that trip?
September.
And so you had you just set up was it like a table, or like you're just, describe kind of the prayer that you did in Fiji. I'm trying to envision.
That's okay. There were people who like they just gotten like medical procedures done, like some of them had like tooth pulled out, or like minor like operations, and like they would come sit and I'd like give them like pain medicine, and like they would just sit on the rug and I would pray for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Were the people pretty receptive of you praying over them?
Yeah, and some people would come like not after having something done, they would just come for prayer.
Tell me about your family.
Well, it's me and my dad and my sister.
And your mom had cancer?
Did you want me to get into that?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
No, it's okay.
I don't want to do
No, that's
anything you're
fine.
comfortable with. But.
Yeah. Well, when I was in prep, she had She had like breast cancer, but it was only stage 2. And then she went into remission when I was in about grade 1 or 2. And then when I was in grade 7, it came back and it was stage 4, so like terminal. And then she was really sick for 2 years, and then I lost her in grade 9. I think my mum, like, she always used to like play this like song, like just about like, because obviously she wanted to be healed, and it would just be like, I think it's called like In His Time, and it just really like, just encouraged me to like, I didn't want to like do anything that was like not what God wanted almost. And so like her just playing that song, it almost just reminded me like this is all part of His plan. And so that's something I've gotten from that. Like I just have like full trust in God sort of with my life.
Is that a contemporary Christian song, or is that?
It was like it was from Salty, like it was like a kids Christian song.
Oh, from Salty.
Yeah.
And did she play that for you, or?
I think it was for herself, but it like impacted me.
What about your mom most inspired you in faith?
I think she was a teacher, and she like taught like special ed kids, and I think it was just like inspiring that like she like had a ministry, but it wasn't like in a formal sense. Like she didn't like she wasn't a pastor, but like I know that she like impacted so many people's lives, and like just like at like her funeral there were like so many like co-workers and like past students, and yeah, it was just like really special that like she could have impacted so many people's lives.
Can you talk about your faith and kind of the role it plays in your life?
Well, for me, it's like, it's just like an everyday thing, because like God just, well, I mean, like He got me through like what I dealt with my mum, and so it's just like a lot of trust in Him. And I think like I carry that trust with me like everywhere. Like before I do anything, I'll just like quickly pray about it. Like that's sort of how I approach God. Yeah.
Has it been, I guess, losing your mom, it sounds like it's bolstered your faith or strengthened your faith, but has it challenged it as well? I mean, do you have the days when you're like, you know, if God is, if you're there, why didn't you give her the healing that we all prayed for?
I think it was really hard at the start because I guess it just, it felt like a big letdown, of course. And it affected me because I was like, if God didn't heal my mum, then maybe He just like doesn't heal like anybody. And so that was something I had to like journey through. But I think like my mum was like, I would say like she was like the leader of like our faith in our family. And so like with her gone, it really like forced me to like have to take it into my own hands, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
When you're talking about your mom, you talked a little bit about how she inspired your faith. How did your relationship with your faith change after she died and you were dealing with all that grief?
Well, kind of just like what I said like before, like it was just like having to like take it up for myself. And because like I guess I would just like rely on her, like her for like her advice on things. And so even like I would rely on like her advice like for like biblical things as well, like getting her thoughts, but even just like stuff that happened at school. And so I couldn't really like turn to like anyone like for anymore, so that just like really like made me like have to rely on God. And like I think that's where the trust comes from, because like He's shown up for me like every time.
That was the Christian Chronicle's Bobby Ross Jr. interviewing Jada Black. She's 16 years old and a student at Redlands College in Queensland. And as you heard, she may be the future Prime Minister of Australia. So keep your ears and eyes open for her in the years ahead. You can read a lot more about Jada at ChristianChronicle.org or click on the link to Bobby's story in the show notes. We'll also put links to the other stories that Bobby wrote from his adventures down under.
As we wrap up the episode, we reflect on a term brimming with growth, achievement, and community spirit. It's been a journey of making a difference every single day.
Thanks for joining us on Be the Difference, Redlands College. Let's continue to support and inspire one another, making every moment count. Until next time, keep being the difference in your world.